143 members of Parliament have been suspended. 2 more Lok Sabha MPs were suspended today, viewer. Political history has gone even more to the next level. For our democracy, 143 MPs being suspended in one session, no matter which way you slice it, is something to really be very, very concerned about. Here on 5 Live yesterday, I told you about how this paralysis, this crisis, this collision between the government and opposition requires an intervention. It requires new rules of engagement, because this level of animosity, rigidity and refusal to come to some kind of compromise means that Parliament is a complete washout, and that means it costs you and me. It costs the normal, common Indian, the Aam Aadmi and Aam Mahila of India, to run Parliament without anything constructive actually being done, and certainly no debate whatsoever. Just take a look at some of these numbers before we begin our show. Productivity in the Lok Sabha, 65%, Rajya Sabha, 78%. None of this is actually optimal, but this is only the tip of the iceberg. I'm going to be getting you even more images and more data over the next 60 minutes to tell you how this is one of the lowest points in our parliamentary history. I'm Shiv, this is 5 Live. Here are the headlines. Mamata Banerjee confirms India Today's big news break on Congress chief Mallikarjun Kharge projected as the opposition's prime ministerial face, says Kejriwal endorsed the proposal but denies any rift in the opposition bloc.
खड़गे जी को नाम हमने किया है कि हर लोग पूछता है एक फेस तो चाहिए, तुम्हारा फेस कौन है, तो इसी के लिए हम प्रपोजल दिया था और हमको सपोर्ट दिया है अरविंद केजरीवाल।
Parliament stalemate continues as 2 more opposition MPs are suspended from Parliament, taking the total number to 143. Sonia, Rahul lead opposition protest outside Parliament. Landmark legal system overhaul by Home Minister Amit Shah. Capital punishment for mob lynching under the new rules. Sedition law applicable only if country is deliberately targeted.
मोदी जी ने प्रधानमंत्री बनने के बाद गुलामी की मानसिकता और गुलामी के सारे चिन्ह इस देश में से जल्दी मिट जाए और नए आत्मविश्वास के साथ महान भारत की रचना का रास्ता प्रशस्त हो, इस पर आग्रह रखा।
India Today accesses the first image of 1993 Bombay blast accused Tiger Memon. This is the terrorist's first image ever seen in 30 years. India Today sources confirm Memon is hiding, surprise, surprise, in Pakistan. Colorado Supreme Court bars Donald Trump from holding office once again. Presidential candidate Ramaswamy pledges to withdraw if Trump is removed from the presidential ballot. The US goes to elections next year. Nitish Kumar is sulking that he's been sidelined as hero number 1 in the opposition alliance. Mamata Banerjee is sulking over the Congress's refusal to provide clarity on seat sharing. The Congress is sulking over a refusal by Kejriwal's party to share seats in Punjab. The Aam Aadmi party is sulking over the Congress's refusal to share seats in Haryana. The Shiv Sena is sulking over the lack of a clear leader or convener. The JDU is sulking over endless meetings of the India Alliance with no conclusive decisions. The CPM is sulking over Rahul Gandhi's refusal to provide clarity on whether he will shift his fight from Kerala to Uttar Pradesh, where the real fight with the BJP is. Team Stalin has upset Nitish Kumar, who is now sulking, by requesting an English translation of his Hindi speech, reportedly triggering an irritated rebuke from Nitish. Akhilesh Yadav is feeling very chuffed over the Congress's drubbing in Madhya Pradesh after the Congress refused to give the Samajwadi Party a few seats to fight from. Akhilesh has also issued a furious warning over buzz that Mayawati's BSP could be lured into the India alliance in some form. Lalu Prasad is sulking with the proposition of Mallikarjun Kharge's name, since it apparently upsets his succession plan in his family, in which he basically reportedly hopes for Nitish to miraculously move to the centre, vacating the Bihar Chief Minister's chair for Lalu's son Tejaswi Yadav. Mamata has recommended that Priyanka Gandhi contest against Modi in Varanasi, setting the cat among the pigeons. Who asked her to make this recommendation? People in the Congress are wondering. Nitish Kumar is still sulking over the fact that his misgivings over the alliance's name were overwhelmingly ignored by the 27 other parties. The Hindi heartland parties are sulking over the sticky position the DMK has thrust them in with the Sanatan Dharm comment by Udayanidhi Stalin, a controversy that gave the BJP a juicy weapon in the recent state polls. Viewer, coalition building is a notoriously difficult and painful exercise, as you can see, because what I've listed here is just a fraction of the frictions and collisions within just 6 months of the India Alliance's formation. What we've seen since June, when the first meeting of the alliance was held, has been overlapping egos, ambitions, suspicions, hypersensitivity and hubris being violently forced to sit at a table and talk as equals. Erstwhile enemies forced to put their sense of pride aside and break bread together. For any coalition to succeed requires nothing short of magic in this country. And the India Alliance is proving this with each passing day. These frictions that keep bubbling to the surface are nothing to laugh about. They are not a source of hilarity or entertainment. Look at the pictures of all these netas at the India Alliance meeting. Many of them seated there are politicians who've gone ferociously head-to-head before. But now they are forced by circumstances to put their feelings on a shelf, at least for the next few months. It's easy to throw a spotlight on all the cracks in this coalition and make light of all these heavy hitters having to pretend to just get along. But let's be clear about one thing. Anyone who loves democracy should be happy that the India Alliance is on a bit of a high. Well, you can argue about that. But if you believe a strong opposition is indispensable, then the coming together of all these parties has to be very welcome and welcomed by all. You can call it cynical, opportunistic, desperate survival tactics, but I would argue that cynicism, opportunism, desperation and survival are, let's face it, probably very, very necessary tools, necessary ingredients in modern political warfare and adjustment. India has seen opposition parties unite several times in the past to make common cause against a larger rival who must be defeated. Whether it was the Janata Party in the 70s or the UPA in 2004, coalitions have worked very effectively on some occasions in the past. But at no point, viewer, in India's history has a ruling government like the Modi government forced such a large number of disparate, warring and contradictory forces to join hands and set aside their differences. It's actually something of a miracle. For this inherently chaotic wagon, staying the course and remaining united is only the tip of a very large and very challenging iceberg. With only weeks to go for the 2024 campaign to begin in earnest, time is not just short, it practically does not exist for the coalition. Not just for the nuts and bolts of seat sharing, which is its own nightmare, but to provide a vision to take to the people of India. Can such a vision be crafted in such a short time amidst all these competing agendas and interests and egos? By reportedly rallying around Mallikarjun Kharge, the Congress president, as a prime ministerial face, has the India Alliance essentially contradicted its own recent boast that the lack of a prime ministerial face was in fact its strength? We have so many leaders, we don't need a prime ministerial face. So why is Kharge now being projected? Has the BJP's relentless attack mode forced the India Alliance into the kind of presidential style fight that it was hoping to avoid completely? 2024, time will tell, viewer. But where is the time to speak of? That's the big question that faces the India Alliance at this point. Well, it's been a day full of protests because, viewer, let's make no mistake. The mimicry by a certain group of MPs outside Parliament may be the big viral moment, but the elephant in the room, the big story, what has triggered all of this is the suspension of 141 and now 143 MPs in Parliament. That's right. Yesterday it was 141. Today, 2 more members of Parliament have been suspended from the opposition, taking the number now to 143. Remember, the genesis of all of this was the security breach in Parliament, the demand by opposition MPs who stormed the well of the House demanding a statement from the Home Minister became the spark that lit the fire that has resulted in a virtually opposition-mukt Parliament. 143 opposition MPs have been suspended. It is way a higher number than any suspension of this kind in the past, including what the Rajiv Gandhi government had done in the 80s during the Bofors controversy. Images outside Parliament, inside Parliament complex, near the Gandhi statue and elsewhere shows that whether it is the suspended MPs or the BJP that has sought to make this about the disrespectful, allegedly disrespectful mimicry that was indulged in by certain MPs, this has become a war once again of perceptions, but at the core of the issue is still the unshakable reality that 143 MPs have been suspended from the opposition inside Parliament.
हर आदमी अगर अपनी अपनी जाति के लिए किसी विषय पे अगर बोलते हैं तो मेरे जाति को इफेक्ट हुआ तो मेरे जाति को तो हमेशा इफेक्ट होता है। मुझे तो बोलने नहीं दिया जाता है। मैं जो सवाल उठाता हूँ उसको उत्तर नहीं मिलता।
राहुल गांधी जो है एक तरफ तो प्यार की क्या नाम मोहब्बत की दुकान की बात करता है और वहाँ पे दूसरी तरफ में पार्लियामेंट के अंदर में बंदर की तरह वहाँ पे वीडियो बना रहा है और वो उपराष्ट्रपति जी का मजाक उड़ा रहा है। मैं अगर उसके अंदर में थोड़ी सी भी अकल होती तो वो वहाँ पे उसको रोकता कि ऐसा करने से उपराष्ट्रपति जी का मजाक नहीं उड़ाना चाहिए, क्योंकि वो भी सरकारों में रहे हैं। तो ऐसे अगर हम हमारे संविधान के पद पर इतने ऊंचे अपना पद पर बैठे हुए व्यक्ति का मजाक उड़ाएंगे तो पूरे लोकतंत्र का मजाक है, पूरे देश का मजाक है।
संसद में जिन लोगों को आपने भेजा है वो वाद विवाद के बदले जोकर का काम पकड़ लिया। उन्होंने जोकर वाला काम पकड़ लिया, नकल करने का काम पकड़ लिया और ये कांग्रेस का नेता राहुल गांधी उसके वीडियो बना रहा है।
अपमान किसने किया, कैसे किया? वहां पे एमपीज बैठे हुए थे, मैंने उनका वीडियो लिया। मेरा वीडियो मेरे फोन पे है, मीडिया दिखा रहा है, मीडिया कह रहा है, मोदी जी कह रहे हैं, किसी ने कुछ कहा ही नहीं है।
क्यों आप ऐसा बात करते हैं? हम तो रेस्पेक्ट करते हैं सबको ना, एक डिसरेस्पेक्ट का कोई बात नहीं होता है। इसको जस्ट पॉलिटिकली कैजुअली आपको तो पता भी नहीं चलता अगर राहुल जी वीडियो में तो छवि नहीं तुलता तो।
ममता बनर्जी जब प्रधानमंत्री जी को गाली देते थे तो इसको हम लोग कैजुअली ले। 130 करोड़ जनता के सामने प्रधानमंत्री को गाली दे रहे, पॉलिटिसाइज नहीं होगा। प्रधानमंत्री उसको तो सम्मान तो होना चाहिए। 2021 के वोट में जब ममता बनर्जी मुख्यमंत्री थे तब उन्होंने क्या बोला था? दीदी बोल के ऐसे कैसे पुकारा है, तो महिला को ऐसा बोल रहे हैं। उन्होंने वो स्टेटमेंट को पॉलिटिसाइज किया था, तो कैजुअली लेना चाहिए था उसको। जब खुद के बारे में जब होता है तो तुम कैजुअली नहीं लोगे, पॉलिटिसाइज करोगे, पॉलिटिक्स करोगे इसको लेके। जब प्रधानमंत्री जी के, राष्ट्रपति जी को, उपराष्ट्रपति जी के बारे में होगा तो हम इसको कैजुअली ले लो। ये क्या है? ये क्या मैसेज जा रहा है पश्चिम बंगाल में?
जगदीप धनखड़ की कितनी बेइज्जती करो, मुझे कोई चिंता नहीं है। भारत के उपराष्ट्रपति की, किसान समाज की, मेरे वर्ग की मैं पूरी आहुति दे दूंगा हवन में। मैं खुद की परवाह नहीं करता। मेरी बेइज्जती कोई करता है मैं सहन करता हूं, खून की घूंट पीता हूं, पर मैं ये बर्दाश्त कभी नहीं करूंगा कि मेरे पद की गरिमा मैं सुरक्षित नहीं रख पाया। इस सदन की गरिमा को सुरक्षित रखना मेरा काम है, इस पद की गरिमा रखना मेरा काम है। आप अंदाजा नहीं लगा सकते क्या हुआ है।
I have not said either it is Rajya Sabha or it is Lok Sabha. It's a mock parliament was going on. If he has taken on his shoulder, I'm really helpless. Does he really behave like this in the Rajya Sabha? That's my question. I have never any intention to hurt anyone. Dhankar Saab is a Also in my profession, he is a senior than me. He is also senior advocate. I am also senior advocate. In our profession, we never hurt anyone. I did not intend to do it.
So like I said, the mimicry controversy has become a big viral eruption that has taken over at least a part of the headlines. But it is our job in the media to tell you that the story is still about the 143 MPs who've been suspended. Let's put out the suspension statistics up so you understand it a little better, because this is suspensions across many different parties. Let's look at the list of suspended Lok Sabha MPs party-wise. Congress party suspended MPs are 38, which means there are 10 MPs left at this point of time. The DMK, 16 have been suspended, 8 remain in Parliament. The All India Trinamool Congress, 13 have been suspended, 9 remain at this time in Parliament. The JDU, that is Nitish Kumar's party, 11 have been suspended, 5 remain in Parliament. Sharad Pawar's NCP, 3 have been suspended, including Supriya Sule. 2 have been allowed to remain at this point of time. The IUML, 3 have been suspended. All of them have been suspended. None left in Parliament. Samajwadi Party, 2 MPs suspended. Just 1 Samajwadi Party MP is left. National Conference of the Abdullahs, 2 MPs have been suspended. Only 1 is left in Parliament. So that's just the anatomy of this suspension in terms of just the numbers. Most opposition parties have seen their numbers slashed by a huge fraction. Now the statistics for states represented by suspended Lok Sabha MPs. This is also very important data, viewer. Listen very carefully. Tamil Nadu, for instance, the number of MPs suspended, 29. There are 10 left inside Parliament. Kerala, 16 MPs from Kerala have been suspended. There are 4 left representing Kerala. West Bengal, 14 MPs have been suspended. 27 still remain inside Parliament. Let's move to Bihar. 12 have been suspended. 28 remain in Parliament. Punjab, 7 suspended. 6 MPs still in Parliament. Assam, 3 suspended. 11 still in Parliament. UP, 3 suspended. 76 still left in Parliament, and all of those are, of course, BJP MPs. The BJP had swept Uttar Pradesh in the 2019 Lok Sabha election as well. Jammu and Kashmir, 2 MPs suspended, 3 MPs are still left in Parliament. Maharashtra, 2 MPs suspended, 44 still remain in Parliament. Most of those, of course, from the NDA. 1 MP from Chhattisgarh has been suspended. Those still active in Parliament mount to 7. Himachal Pradesh, 1 MP suspended, 3 still active inside Parliament. Goa, 1 MP suspended, 1 still left in Parliament. Jharkhand, 1 suspended, 13 MPs still left. The Union Territory of Lakshadweep, 1 MP has been suspended, and he is, of course, the sole MP from the island territory. In Odisha, 1 MP left, 20 MPs still remain. In Puducherry, 1 MP has been suspended. He is the sole MP, so there's no representation in the Lok Sabha from Puducherry. Now let's come to the Rajya Sabha. Here's how many MPs opposition parties are left with after these mass suspensions. Congress suspended, MPs 18 have been suspended, 12 Rajya Sabha MPs from the Congress still remain. Trinamool Congress, 8 Rajya Sabha MPs have been suspended, 5 still remain. DMK, 5 Rajya Sabha MPs have been suspended, 5 still remain. CPM, 3 have been suspended in the Rajya Sabha, 2 MPs still remain. Samajwadi Party, 2 MPs suspended in the Rajya Sabha, 1 MP, a sole Rajya Sabha MP from the Samajwadi Party still remains. RJD, that is Lalu Prasad's party, 2 MPs have been suspended from the Rajya Sabha, 4 still remain. Of those 2 have been suspended, Manoj Jha, who was in that mimicry video, is one of them. JDU of Nitish Kumar, 2 Rajya Sabha MPs suspended, but 3 still remain. CPI, 2, the only 2 Rajya Sabha members of Parliament, both have been suspended. In the NCP, of the 4 Rajya Sabha MPs, 1 has been suspended. The KCM, 1 MP has been suspended. He is the only one. In the RJD of Lalu, 1 MP has been suspended in the Rajya Sabha, and just 1 remains. So that is really a numerical picture of how many opposition MPs from each party, from each state representation has been suspended at this point of time. Next, let me show you the statewide list of MPs suspended in the Rajya Sabha. The earlier was the Lok Sabha. Now let's tell you about the upper house. West Bengal, suspended MPs 8. Number of Rajya Sabha MPs from West Bengal left is only 8. Kerala, 7 Rajya Sabha MPs have been suspended. There are only 2 left from Kerala in the upper house. This is across parties, remember that. In Tamil Nadu, 5 Rajya Sabha MPs have been suspended, leaving 13 in the upper house. In Rajasthan, there are only 5 MPs left after 4 were suspended in the Rajya Sabha. Meanwhile, in Maharashtra, 4 MPs have been suspended. There are 15 left in the Rajya Sabha. In the upper house in Karnataka, there are 8 MPs left in the upper house, with 4 suspended from the Rajya Sabha. In Bihar, 12 Rajya Sabha MPs still remain across parties. 4 from the opposition have meanwhile been suspended. In Gujarat, 8 have not been acted against yet. 3 MPs still remain. Of course, those are from the BJP. This is the Rajya Sabha we're talking about. Uttar Pradesh, there are 29 Rajya Sabha MPs who've not been touched. 2 MPs have been suspended from the opposition. In Chhattisgarh, in terms of representation in the upper house, 2 MPs suspended, leaving 3 in the house, in the upper house. Madhya Pradesh, 10 MPs still from Madhya Pradesh in the upper house. 1 MP has been suspended. Jharkhand, 1 suspended, 5 still remaining. Assam, Rajya Sabha, 1 MP suspended, 6 still remaining. So that is the numerical picture of what the suspension looks like. Let me bring in India Today's Poulomi Saha, who's had a ringside view of this suspension drama that has played out through this entire week, making it a dubious milestone as far as India's parliament history is concerned. 2 more MPs suspended today, Poulomi, in what is already a record-breaking action in India's parliamentary democracy. Setting aside the narrative war over mimicry versus the issue at hand, what is going to happen next? There are 2 days left of Parliament. You were telling us yesterday it doesn't look like there's going to be any breakthrough. Has that changed?
Well, unlikely it will change. In fact, the fact that it all hinged on, whether there would be a discussion finally on the 3 criminal law bills in terms of having the entire opposition strength in the House. So it could, in fact, have the right amount of discussion that, bills as historic as these 3 bills were should have in Parliament. That's unlikely to change because in Lok Sabha, we saw the 3 criminal law amendment bills being passed. There was, in fact, the possibility that there was some kind of mulling over whether these suspensions could be revoked, but it seems like the speaker and the chairman dug their heels in as far as these suspensions are concerned, sending out a very strong message that crucial bills and legislative agenda unfortunately have to be passed at a time that the opposition was unrelenting in terms of its demonstrations and disruptions in Parliament. So over the next 2 days, unfortunately, we're not going to see any sort of breakthrough. Very crucial bills still remain, including the CC bill, which was passed from the Rajya Sabha earlier before, of course, the Parliament security breach episode happened. And then, of course, awaits passage through Lok Sabha. The telecommunications bill, again, a very crucial bill, has now been taken up for consideration and passage in the Lok Sabha as we speak. With a very belligerent opposition, which has decided to protest at Jantar Mantar on the last day of the winter session of Parliament, unlikely there's going to be any sort of breakthrough.
All right, Poulomi, thanks very much for that. Unlikely that there's going to be any breakthrough. This has become a huge rallying point for the opposition and the Indy alliance, and is going to be one of the, make no mistake, one of the big things and the big planks on which the opposition will be fighting the Modi government on the road to 2024. Now, I've shown you the numbers. I've shown you how representation from parties in each state has been affected by this mass suspension. Now, let me show you a little bit about productivity. What about productivity in Parliament? Because remember, Parliament is paid for by you and me. There are now 2 days left for the winter session. Let's look at productivity in Parliament, shall we? Lok Sabha, 42.9 hours of business so far. In the Rajya Sabha, 50.7 hours of business have taken place in the winter session. There are still 2 days left. Now let's look at productivity in the Lok Sabha. It stands at just 65% in the Lok Sabha. In the Rajya Sabha, it's 78%. It should be nowhere below 90% in both houses. This is an absolute shame, and all of this costs money, and I'll tell you about that as well. In terms of legislation, 47%, that's 20.3 hours is the time that has been spent in the Lok Sabha in this particular session. In terms of questions asked, 13.8% over 5.9 hours was the time spent on question and answers inside Parliament. Non-legislation took up 20.9% of time in the winter session. That was about 9 hours of non-legislative business, which is all the drama that you've seen. In terms of financial, 13.2%, and that is 5.7 hours. Financial legislation for the country has just taken only that time. Now let's move to the upper house, equally crucial. Non-legislation took up 38% of the hours. That's 38%. That's 19.3 hours in the upper house in this session was taken up by non-legislation. Questions, 15.8% over 8 hours. Legislation, 39% over 20 hours. So in many ways, statistically, this has been one of the least productive sessions of Parliament in recent times. And the breaking news that we can confirm to you now is that the government's big legal system overhaul has been passed. All 3 criminal law amendment bills have now formally been passed in the Lok Sabha. The Lok Sabha passed the 3 revised criminal law bills, which have been named the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, proposing to replace the Indian Penal Code and to do away with many old colonial era legislations. The Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita proposing to replace the Code of Criminal Procedure, or the CCP, and the Bharatiya Sakshya Sanhita, which seeks to replace the Indian Evidence Act. Many ramifications, many implications. Listen in to Home Minister Amit Shah, who made this speech before passing the bill.
मोदी जी ने प्रधानमंत्री बनने के बाद गुलामी की मानसिकता और गुलामी के सारे चिन्ह इस देश में से जल्दी मिट जाए और नए आत्मविश्वास के साथ महान भारत की रचना का रास्ता प्रशस्त हो, इस पर आग्रह रखा है। उन्होंने लाल किले की प्राचीर से कहा, मान्यवर, उन्होंने कहा कि कॉलोनियल कानूनों से जल्दी इस देश को मुक्ति मिलनी चाहिए, और उसी के तहत गृह मंत्रालय ने 2019 से इसमें परिवर्तन लाने के लिए गहन विचार विमर्श चालू किया था। मान्यवर, ये जो कानून थे, ये कानून एक शासक ने, विदेशी शासक ने अपने शासन को बनाए रखने के लिए बनाए हुए कानून थे। एक गुलाम प्रजा को गवर्न करने के लिए बनाए हुए कानून थे, और इसकी जगह अब ये जो कानून आ रहे हैं वो हमारी संविधान की मूल 3 चीजें, व्यक्ति की स्वतंत्रता, मानव के अधिकार और सबके साथ समान व्यवहार, ये 3 सिद्धांतों के आधार पर बनाए जा रहे कानून है। ये इसका मूल परिवर्तन है जो कुछ लोग पहचान नहीं पाए।
India Today's Anisha Mathur, who tracks courts and law for us, is live with me. Anisha, the bills have been passed in the Lok Sabha, big reboot of the criminal law system. Just break it down for us in as simple a way as possible as to what this really means for the common man and woman. How does this affect everyone?
Well, Shiv, these 3 new laws, the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, the Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita and the Sakshya Sanhita, now will replace the IPC, the CRPC and the Evidence Act. This seems to be quite an overhaul of the entire criminal justice system of the country. Now, while a lot of these provisions were already there in the existing law. A lot of these provisions have come from various Supreme Court and High Court pronouncements. And several are those provisions which have come in via various amendments to the IPC, CRPC and Evidence Act over the years. But now the Modi government has brought in a comprehensive overhaul of these laws. And if we look at what the Home Minister also said in the Parliament, what their focus is now is on increasing technology, better forensics, better investigation, streamlining the investigation, ensuring that the conviction rate, which is very abysmally low in India, is sort of is made better. We've got provisions now for timelines on investigation. We've got provisions now for timelines, not only on investigation, but charge sheets as well as cognizance. We also have a prosecution department being created to monitor why things have gone wrong during a trial and investigation. All of that is being brought in now.
Okay, thanks very much, Anisha. And you will see Anisha's full report also at 9 o'clock with Rajdeep. We're going to be expanding on this extremely important issue. We'll be breaking down the whole story for you, and there will also be a debate with expert lawyers on what this means and how it affects the country. Thanks, Anisha, for getting us those details. Well, back to the big political story, which is the implosion in Parliament and the after effects. Well, Team India, or the India Alliance, held their fourth huddle in the national capital on Tuesday, while finally Mallikarjun Kharge has been floated as the opposition's prime ministerial face. Not formally, and he's still denying it, but the chinks continue to run deep in the opposition bloc, as I listed for you at the beginning of this show. From language wars to seat sharing to alliances, can the opposition get its act together to take on the Modi X Factor in 2024?
Over 24 opposition parties with the shared goal of removing Narendra Modi. But the India bloc is witnessing massive rumbling with just months to go before the general polls. Multiple differences have cropped up in the opposition grouping, making the Modi Hatao task even more formidable. While West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee confirmed India Today's newsbreak that she has endorsed Congress Chief Kharge as the face of the India Alliance, her move made Nitish Kumar and Lalu Prasad immediately see red. Both Bihar satraps left in a huff. Even Kharge himself was stunned.
खड़गे जी को नाम हमने किया है कि हर लोग पूछता है एक फेस तो चाहिए, तुम्हारा फेस कौन है? तो इसी के लिए हम प्रपोजल दिया था कि खड़गे जी को होना चाहिए. खड़गे जी अगर फेस होगा तो ठीक है, और हमारा कोई एतराज नहीं है, और हमको सपोर्ट दिया है अरविंद केजरीवाल जी.
हमने पहले सभी लोग जीत के आना है. जीत के लिए क्या करना उसके बारे में हम सोचे. कौन प्राइम मिनिस्टर बनना ये बाद में की बात है.
Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar reportedly sparked a North versus South divide after DMK MP T.R. Balu sought a translation of his Hindi speech. A furious Nitish shot back at Tamil Nadu CM Stalin, saying Hindi is the national language and everyone must learn it. Nitish sternly told his party not to translate his Hindi speech.
Just to clarify, on the record, we don't have a national language in that sense that some people have misunderstood it. We have an official language which is both Hindi and English, and the work of the union is conducted in the language of each state. Malayalam in Kerala, Tamil in Tamil Nadu, Hindi in Bihar, and either English or Hindi can be used as a linked language for communication. That's the way this country has been functioning. So it is not a Rashtra Bhasha, it is a Raj Bhasha. There is a big difference.
SP Chief Akhilesh Yadav was upset after reports of Mayawati being invited to the India bloc. The Samajwadi Party chief served an ultimatum asking Congress to choose either him or Mayawati.
देखिए, इनका गठबंधन ये तो स्पष्ट है कि चलने वाला इन लोगों का नहीं है. ये आपस में लाठी चलाएंगे और आप देखते रहिएगा. जस जस चुनाव नजदीक आता जाएगा वैसे इनकी दूरियां भी बढ़ती जाएंगी.
Mamata sparked a face-off with Samajwadi Party after reportedly suggesting a Priyanka versus Modi fight in Varanasi. SP hit back saying it has the sole right to decide UP candidates.
कांग्रेस को भी अगर बड़े वो राष्ट्रीय रोल में सामने हैं तो उन्हें अपनी लाइन क्लियर करनी पड़ेगी कि वो क्षेत्रीय दलों के बारे में क्या सोचते हैं। और जब जिम्मेदारी एक बार माननीय अखिलेश जी को दे दी गई कि वो उत्तर प्रदेश में तय करेंगे कि कौन कहां पे कैसे होगा, क्षेत्रीय दलों का कैसे सामंजस्य बनेगा, तो उनके ऊपर भरोसा किया जाना चाहिए।
India bloc is also witnessing AAP Congress tussle over tie-up in Punjab. AAP Punjab unit categorically rejected any tie-up with bitter rival Congress.
ਹਜੇ ਤੱਕ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਕਿਹਾ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ ਕਿ 13 ਦੀਆਂ 13 ਲੋਕ ਸਭਾ ਸੀਟਾਂ ਦੀ ਤਿਆਰੀ ਕਰੋ ਜੀ, ਸਟ੍ਰੈਟਜੀ ਬਣਾਓ, ਕਾਸਟ ਕੰਬੀਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਨੂੰ ਧਿਆਨ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਹੋਏ ਕਿ ਸਾਰੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਰਿਪਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਮਿਲਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਉਹਦੇ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ। ਸੋ ਪੂਰੀ ਤਿਆਰੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਾਂਗਰਸ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਤਰੀਕ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 13 ਦੀਆਂ 13 ਲੋਕ ਸਭਾ ਸੀਟਾਂ ਲੜਨ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ।
The nascent opposition group is yet to decide seat sharing, common poll manifesto and a face to take on Modi charisma, leaving allies like Shiv Sena and JDU jittery and targeting Congress over inordinate delay. Bureau Report, India Today.
And on the other side of this very short break, a day after all that buzz over Dawood Ibrahim, what about Tiger Memon, the terrorist from the D Company who was actually responsible for the execution of the Bombay blast? We've got a big super exclusive for you. Tiger zinda hai, but not in the way that you think. That's next.
India, as you know, is a land of diversity where countless stories are born every day. A brand that has celebrated the rich mosaic of our country, India Today, is the brand that has been covering stories from all spheres of life from across the country tirelessly, making sense of the myriad India and the Indians residing in here. The story of India Today and the story of my latest film, Donkey, which is inspired by the phenomenal dreams and struggles of the same Indians and is a story about love and friendship filled with humor and heart.
हमने मजबूरी में अपना घर छोड़ा था, वरना कोई अपना देश, अपना परिवार, अपने दोस्तों को छोड़कर क्यों जाएगा सरहदों पे गोली खाने?
While my film Donkey symbolizes the struggle of many who leave home and their loved ones behind in the hope for a better life, they miss their homeland in this tough bargain. But it's their spirit that helps them carry on. India Today has been capturing the indomitable spirit of being an Indian for over 5 decades now. India Today, making sense to India, making sense of India.
I have not said either it is Rajya Sabha or it is Lok Sabha, it's a mock parliament was going on. If he has taken on his shoulder, I am really helpless. Does he really behave like this in the Rajya Sabha? That's my question. Now that's my question. No, I have never intended. There will be sin. Either you allow me to speak, otherwise you will. No, then either you allow me to speak or then. Now I will tell. I have never any intention to hurt anyone. Dhankar Saab is also in my profession. He is a senior than me. He is also senior advocate. I am also senior advocate. In our profession, we never hurt anyone. I did not intend to do it.
Air quality today. In Delhi, 296. In Mumbai, 214. In Kolkata, 220. In Bangalore, 98. In Chennai, 70. In Hyderabad, 153.
Monday, the Archaeological Survey of India submitted its report on the Gyanvapi mosque case in the court in a sealed envelope. Earlier in the day, the Muslim side filed an appeal at Varanasi District Court seeking submission of a sealed survey report. Hindu side alleged that the ASI has violated the Supreme Court order by submitting the sealed report.
हमारा ये आपत्ति है कि ये रिपोर्ट सील कवर में फाइल ही नहीं हो सकती थी। सुप्रीम कोर्ट में 4 अगस्त में ये मामला उठा था और अंजुमन इंतजामिया की वहाँ पे यही डिमांड थी कि रिपोर्ट सील कवर में फाइल की जाए। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने उस मांग को सिरे से खारिज कर दिया। उसके बाद आज एएसआई ने सुप्रीम कोर्ट के ऑर्डर के वायलेशन में ये रिपोर्ट सील कवर में फाइल की है। पॉइंट नंबर 1। और दूसरी बात यह है कि हमने कोर्ट के सामने प्रार्थना पत्र दिया है कि इसकी कॉपी हमें तुरंत प्रोवाइड की जाए ईमेल के माध्यम से, और कोर्ट ने कहा है कि दोनों पक्षों को सुनने के बाद 21 तारीख को अप्रोप्रिएट ऑर्डर पास करें।
सील कवर में दाखिल किया है तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, और इनको आज ही काफ़ी चाह रही थी, और अंजुमन इंतजामिया की तरफ से ये एप्लीकेशन दिया गया कि साहब इसमें कॉपी पार्टीज ऑफ द सूट को प्रोवाइड जरूर किया जाए, लेकिन एक उनसे एफिडेविट के जरिए अंडरटेकिंग लेते हुए कि ये जब तक इस एसआई रिपोर्ट का डिस्पोजल नहीं हो जाए तब तक इसको मीडिया में किसी प्रकार लीक न किया जाए, क्योंकि इससे जो है समाज में जो है मीडिया के गलत रिपोर्टिंग से जो है अवेयरनेस फैलने की संभावना।
On 4th August, ASI started a survey within the barricaded region of the Gyanvapi mosque premises, excluding its sealed section, the Wazukhana area. The controversial area was sealed under Supreme Court's order. The Varanasi Court directions of July is aimed to ascertain whether the 17th century mosque was allegedly built upon a pre-existing structure of a Hindu temple. The court will declare its order in the next hearing scheduled on 21st of December. Bureau Report, India Today.
Air quality today. In Delhi, 296. In Mumbai, 214. In Kolkata, 220. In Bangalore, 98. In Chennai, 70. In Hyderabad, 153.
The 1993 Bombay blasts, in which 250 people were killed, has been linked to Dawood Ibrahim, India's most wanted terrorist. But who was it who actually executed the attack? It was this man. If you don't recognize him, that's Tiger Memon, the 1993 Bombay blast mastermind. You've only ever seen maybe one or two pictures of him. That's the one on the left. But that's what he looks like on the far right. That's what Tiger Memon looks like now. It's a picture that nobody has seen before and that you're seeing here on India Today for the first time, because India Today's Arvind Ojha has accessed this sole picture of Tiger Memon after nearly 30 years. He fled to Dubai. He later shifted base to Karachi. We've also got video of his Karachi villa. These are India's most wanted terrorists of one of the worst attacks on our soil. Take a look. March 12th, 1993, Mumbai. 257 dead, 1,400 injured. 13 blasts ripped through Mumbai on the 12th of March 1993. The two masterminds, Ibrahim Mostar, Abdul Razak Memon, or Tiger Memon, a key member of the D Company, and Dawood Ibrahim.
वो लोग दोनों मिलके उन्होंने ये पूरा प्लान बनाया था, लेकिन ये मुख्य एग्जीक्यूटर था। इसने सारा जो कॉन्स्पिरेसी था उसका अंजाम टाइगर ने दिया था। प्रॉपर्टीज रीडेवलप करने में का उसका बिजनेस है, उसकी पूरी आइडेंटिटी बदल दी गई है, उसको नया नाम दे दिया गया है।
For years, this was the only image of Tiger Memon that the world had ever seen. But today, for the first time, India Today reveals what this terrorist looks like now. India Today has accessed Tiger Memon's latest image. The terrorist responsible for the 1993 Mumbai explosions had fled to Dubai. Pakistan's ISI played a role in relocating him to Pakistan thereafter. Since then, Indian intelligence agencies have been pursuing Tiger Memon, now 63 years old. Pakistan has consistently denied his presence within its borders.
वहाँ डिफेंस हाउसिंग सोसाइटी है कराची में, वहाँ वो रहता है। पहले तो आईएसआई के संरक्षण में रूफी कॉटेज में पूरा परिवार को ठहराया गया था। उसके बाद वो लोग घर बदलते रहे।
India Today has not only obtained his latest picture from highly placed security sources, but also visual evidence of his sprawling villas in a plush neighborhood in Karachi. According to India's National Investigation Agency, Memon has two homes in Pakistan's commercial capital. We take you to his first hideout in Karachi, located in the city's Defence Authority housing colony, one of Pakistan's most protected neighborhoods. Armed guards, surveillance cameras, soldiers constantly patrolling the premises. The posh area developed by the Pakistan Army itself. This area is home to high-ranking officers and government officials who share this neighborhood with terrorist Tiger Memon. According to the NIA, Tiger Memon also has another villa in Karachi on Golf Course Road. He maintains an office in a shopping mall. His operations linked to his drug trade in South Africa. According to intelligence sources, Tiger Memon is involved in real estate dealings in Pakistan in collaboration with Dawood Ibrahim and the Pakistani ISI. With Arvind Ojha in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today. And our Crime Bureau Chief Arvind Ojha scoring this big exclusive, the first picture of Tiger Memon, the executor, the D Company man who actually made the 1993 Bombay blast possible. First and exclusive here on India Today. Arvind, Tiger Memon, Dawood Ibrahim जैसे कराची में ही बैठा है. आपने उसका तस्वीर ब्रेक किया है. 30 साल बाद ये तस्वीर सामने आया है. टाइगर मेमन अभी भी पाकिस्तान में ही है.
नहीं, बिल्कुल. देखिए, टाइगर मेमन पाकिस्तान में है और 30 साल बाद न सिर्फ शिव हमने उसकी तस्वीर, जो लेटेस्ट तस्वीर है, वो एक्सेस की है, बल्कि हमने एस्टेब्लिश किया है कि वो पाकिस्तान के कराची में पॉश इलाके में रहता है. पॉश इलाका जो डिफेंस हाउसिंग अथॉरिटी है, जो पाकिस्तान की आर्मी डेवलप करती है, क्योंकि पाकिस्तान की आर्मी वहां पर प्रॉपर्टी डीलिंग का भी काम करती है. तो वो डिफेंस हाउसिंग अथॉरिटी जो कराची में है, जहां पर भी वीआईपीज रहते हैं, वहां पर ये विला है जहां पर टाइगर मेमन अपनी फैमिली के साथ रहता है। और सोर्सेज बताते हैं कि कभी कभी दाऊद इब्राहिम, छोटा शकील ये भी इस बंगले पर आते हैं। तो ये कराची के डिफेंस हाउसिंग अथॉरिटी में ये उसका बंगला है। और साथ ही साथ कैसा टाइगर मेमन अभी दिखता है वो पिक्चर भी हमने एक्सेस की है। तो लगातार जो पाकिस्तान है वो इनकार करता रहा है कि जो 1993 मुंबई ब्लास्ट के जो अक्यूज्ड हैं, चाहे वो दाऊद इब्राहिम हो और चाहे ब्लास्ट का जो मास्टरमाइंड था टाइगर मेमन, वो पाकिस्तान में नहीं है। तो फर्स्ट टाइम इंडिया टुडे पर 30 साल बाद हम ये खुलासा कर रहे हैं कि टाइगर मेमन पाकिस्तान में है। वो पाकिस्तान के कराची में डिफेंस हाउसिंग अथॉरिटी जो पाकिस्तान की आर्मी डेवलप करती है वहां पर एक पॉश इलाके में रहता है। और साथ ही साथ उस विलास से वो एंटी इंडिया एक्टिविटीज चलाता है, ड्रग्स का धंधा करता है, साउथ अफ्रीका के जरिए वो इंडिया में ड्रग्स भेजता है। तो इस खुलासे के बाद देखिए, पहले तो दाऊद इब्राहिम के बंगले की तस्वीरें भी इंडिया टुडे ने आज तक में एक्सेस की थी, लेकिन ये फर्स्ट टाइम है कि जो 1993 बॉम्ब ब्लास्ट का मास्टरमाइंड है उसकी तस्वीरें 30 साल बाद सामने आई हैं। न सिर्फ तस्वीरें बल्कि हमने ये भी खुलासा कर दिया है कि वो पाकिस्तान में ही मौजूद है, पाकिस्तान के कराची में आईएसआई के संरक्षण में रहता है। और अगर आप देखें इस घर के बाहर बाकायदा सीमेंट की बोरियां लगाई गई हैं, सिक्योरिटी गार्ड खड़े हैं। तो न सिर्फ पाकिस्तान आर्मी के जवान होते हैं बल्कि जो
Big exclusive there by Arvind Oja, the second in 2 days. Dawood Ibrahim first and now Tiger Memon. The first image of India's most wanted terrorists in 30 years. Nobody else has this image, and I promise there will be a big update coming up at 10 p.m. with Gaurav Sawant and Arvind Oja on India First. But that's a wrap on 5 Live. Thanks for watching. I'll see you at the same time tomorrow. 6 p.m. Prime with Akshita comes up after the break. The Chinks continue to rock the Indie Alliance opposition bloc. Language wars, seat sharing, egos, alliances. Can they come together and unite for the war of 2024?
उम्मीदवार बनाने की मांग की थी मैम?
हाँ किया था, और अरविंद जी भी मेरे को सपोर्ट किया था।
मैम आपने खड़गे जी का नाम में ऐसी बातें
हाँ किया है,
और इस पे कुछ और विस्तार से आप बता दें।
नहीं खड़गे जी को नाम हमने किया है कि हर लोग पूछता है एक फेस तो चाहिए, तुम्हारा फेस कौन है। तो इसी के लिए हम एक प्रपोजल दिया था कि खड़गे जी को होना चाहिए। खड़गे जी अगर फेस होगा तो ठीक है, और हमारा कोई एतराज नहीं है। और हमको सपोर्ट दिया है अरविंद केजरीवाल जी। मैंने और हमारा साथ 9 MP लोकसभा राज्यसभा मिला के 10 मेंबर का डेलीगेशन हम अभी प्राइम मिनिस्टर के साथ मीट करके आ रहा हूँ। हमारा मेमोरेंडम का कॉपी आपको मिल जाएगा बाद में। फ्रॉम पार्टी ऑफिस दे विल डिस्ट्रीब्यूट यू। मैंने जो बात आपने देखा कि हमारा 100 दिन का जो रुपया नहीं मिल रहा है, जिन्होंने काम किया है गरीब लोगों ने, उसका रुपया भी बंद हो पड़ा। एक कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का मैंडेटरी है, ये रुपया देना चाहिए, आज तक नहीं दे गया है। और 22-23 का जो बजट हुआ था, वो बजट में 100 दिन के लिए काम के लिए हमारा स्टेट को एक पैसा भी नहीं दिया था।
अपमान किया गया, उनके बार बार आग्रह पर, उनके बार बार अनुरोध पर विपक्ष के नेताओं तक ने उनकी बात नहीं सुनी। वेल में आए, अपनी सीट से निकल के हर प्रकार का व्यवधान किया। और यही नहीं, कई माननीय सदस्य तो प्लेकार्ड लेके, जिसके बारे में माननीय स्पीकर के समक्ष और माननीय चेयरमैन के समक्ष सर्वदलीय बैठक में यह तय हुआ था कि कोई भी पार्टी, चाहे सत्तारूढ़ पार्टी हो चाहे विपक्ष हो, कोई भी माननीय सदस्य कभी भी पार्टी लेके, प्लेकार्ड लेके सदन के कार्यवाही को बिगाड़ेगा नहीं, सदन में इस प्रकार का व्यवहार नहीं करेगा। उसके बावजूद आज कई माननीय सदस्य प्लेकार्ड लेके दोनों सदनों में आए।
आप क्या चाहते हो? संसद का एक ऐसे इको चैम्बर में तब्दील किया जाए जहां सिर्फ आपकी जय जयकारे के अलावा कुछ ना हो, लोगों की बात ना किया जाए, राष्ट्र की सुरक्षा पर बात ना हो, सवाल काट देते हो आप। ये उम्मीद थी हमारी संसद से। इसलिए मैं कह रहा हूं, हम में से हर व्यक्ति बैज ऑफ ऑनर की तरह ले रहा। ये सस्पेंशन नहीं है, ये रिकॉग्निशन है कि हम सवाल पूछना चाह रहे हैं, सबसे बड़े लोगों से सवाल पूछना जा रहे हैं और उनको ढकने की पूरी कोशिश हो रही है। ढक नहीं पाओगे। क्या चाहते हो? विपक्ष मुक्त संसद और प्रतिरोध मुक्त सड़क, दोनों में से कुछ हासिल नहीं होगा।
Just months ahead of the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, the Congress has launched its biggest crowdfunding campaign, Donate for Desh. Launching the campaign, Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge cited similar fundraising efforts by Mahatma Gandhi. Kharge donated 1,38,000 rupees.
सिर्फ अमीरों के ऊपर ही अगर आप भरोसा करके काम करते जाएंगे तो ये कल के दिन उनके कार्यक्रम को और उनके पॉलिसीज को हमको मानना पड़ता है। और इसी ढंग से महात्मा गांधी जी भी सब लोगों से डोनेशन लेकर ही देश को आजाद कराया है।
The Congress is urging supporters to donate in multiples of 138. The crowdsourcing campaign will remain online till December 28th, the 138th foundation day of the party. After that, the party will launch campaigns on the ground. The BJP has attacked the Congress, calling the fundraiser as an attempt to siphon off public money to enrich the Gandhis. The Congress has run a similar crowdfunding campaign in 2018 as well, but it did not get much traction. The party has been unable to match the BJP in raising funds. As per the most recent disclosures to the Election Commission, the BJP's assets have jumped from rupees 781 crore in 2013-14 to 6,047 crore in 2021-22. Whereas the Congress's assets stood at rupees 806 crore in 2021-22, up from 767 crore in 2013-14. The Congress crowdfunding campaign comes just days after income tax raids on businesses linked to a party MP yielded 351 crore rupees in cash. The fear is this could cloud the party's messaging. Bureau Report, India Today.
Weather forecast now. Delhi, maximum 23 and minimum 9 degrees. Mumbai, maximum 28 and minimum 23 degrees. Kolkata, maximum 26 and minimum 14 degrees. Bangalore, maximum 26 and minimum 17 degrees. Chennai, maximum 27 and minimum 24 degrees. Hyderabad, maximum 27 and minimum 16 degrees.
Presented by ArcelorMittal Nippon Steel India. बनाऊंगा मैं, बनेगा भारत. Mutual funds distributor करें शुरू. Driven by Audi.
Good evening. You're watching 6 p.m. Prime here on India Today. I'm Akshata Nandagopal, and this evening we're focusing on what exactly played out at the India bloc meet. 24 hours later, a lot more information that's trickled in on all that was discussed and also all the differences that once again come to the fore among these allies. Now, even as the details of the alliance with regards to the seat sharing is yet to be finalized, these parties are busy bickering over a slew of issues, whether it's the issue of which language to speak on, who will be the face of the alliance, or of course the seat sharing deal and how it's going to play out in different states. All of these issues has now become the top talking point of the India Alliance meet. I'll get you all the big differences, the big talking points from the meet that took place yesterday. A look at the headlines first.